Hi, I'm Heather Hayward, and I'm attuned to the Drive Time Show with Wimbo and Naturally on allflavasradio.com. Woo! Go there, girls!
A belief is a feeling of absolute certainty. If you want to achieve anything in life, you need to get certain you will achieve it. You must believe in yourself. Beliefs control results because you will never take action towards something you don't believe is possible. You can have all the education in the world. It doesn't matter. If you don't believe you can do it, you will never get it.
Do you think Jordan could have become the greatest if he didn't believe in himself? Not a chance. He would have quit when things got hard. He would have quit when he was cut from his high school basketball team. You think Serena would be the greatest female tennis player in history without belief? Not a chance.
These great athletes, great entrepreneurs, great human beings are great because they believe in themselves. They believe when no one else does. They believe when they are down. They believe when they are at rock bottom. This is my dream, and I will succeed. Maybe not immediately, but absolutely and definitely. There is no doubt in my mind. This goal I have, this dream I have, I will get it. I will. I will. I will. Beliefs control your results because you will never take action towards something you don't believe is possible. In order to succeed, you must believe. In order to believe you're good enough, you must be good enough. If you're not there yet, get to work. Work! 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 Until you get to the place where you know you will make it. No doubt. No doubt. I will make it. I will get it. I will have it.
Work on your weaknesses until they become your strengths. Work on your flaws until they become your fire. Work on your problems until they become your power.
You have to believe that something great can happen. Even if there is no evidence, believe. Even if others say it is impossible, believe. Even when everything is going wrong, believe. Change your belief that you can't to the knowing that you can. Change the belief that there are limitations to the knowing there are none. Change the belief that there isn't a way and push yourself to find your own path, your own answers, your own way. You can't just go off logic. The greatest achievements in the world defy logic. They are born from belief. The greatest achievements did not come from someone who saw what was didn't dare attempt better. The greatest achievements came from those who see what is possible, but still believe they can achieve something impossible.
Oh! Brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you back to life. Back to the one that can make your next chapter your best chapter. Hallelujah.
How can it be that you love the most unlovable part of me? Of me? How could you see your life was the only gift I'll ever need to be free? It's amazing with you. I win even if I lose. Everything's working for my good for always.
Come on.
He saves the day. He will come through. You all know that's not what superheroes do.
Hallelujah.
No greater love makes my heart beat. All I wanna do is make you proud of me.
That's why.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Let's go.
How can it be? Every one of my secrets that you keep,
You cover me.
you cover me.
I appreciate it.
A mystery.
It's amazing how
Your patience with me, God will never leave.
you don't give up on me.
Don't ever leave.
Help me.
Help me to see like you.
Like you.
No matter what I go through,
Hey.
everything's working for my good for always.
Let me tell you what he does.
He saves the day.
And he
He
will.
will come through.
Hallelujah.
You all know that's not what superheroes do.
Not real superheroes.
No greater love
A love like this.
makes my heart beat.
And I promise you,
All I wanna do is make you proud of me.
that's why.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Yes.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
I searched all over.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
You.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
That's right.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Yes. And the church saying, come on. Jesus loving you.
You'll be the death of me.
It sounds crazy, don't it? Hey,
That's how it's supposed to be.
let me tell you what it means.
More and less of me.
That's why.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Father.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
I really mean it this time.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Jesus.
I don't wanna love nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Let me tell you what it does.
He saves the day.
Come on.
He will come through.
He will let you down, but
You all know that's not what superheroes do.
see, I will never find
No greater love
a love like this.
makes my heart beat.
Forever and the day.
All I wanna do is make you proud.
Let me say it again.
He saves the day. He will come through.
It feels so good.
You all know that's not what superheroes do.
Yes.
No greater love
Hallelujah.
makes my heart beat.
For the rest of my life.
All I wanna do is make you proud of me.
Everybody sing.
I don't wanna love nobody but you.
Saying a pleasant good evening.
Nobody but you. I don't wanna love nobody but you.
You're the Savior.
I don't wanna love nobody.
Here in All Flavors Land.
Love nobody but you. I don't
How you doing out there, beautiful people?
nobody but you.
The beautiful sounds of Kirk Franklin and some serious motivation on believing in yourself. This is the Let's Talk Drive Time show. I am Wimbo77.
And I'm naturally Lily.
How you doing, Lily?
I'm okay. I've been very productive today.
Are you feeling a lot better?
Oh, than I did last week, yes.
Yes.
Still a bit under the weather, but better.
Oh, fantastic. It's great to have you back in the studio.
Good to be back.
And really a big thank you going out to DiCarlo last week, who stepped in for you. Now, DiCarlo is my brother, And we always work very closely together. We are actually a trio when we go out and sing together. Lily DiCarlo and myself, Easy, that's what we're called. And it means make it happen. And we love to make things happen, right?
We do.
Yeah, so we've got lots in store for you tonight. And we also have a special guest coming into the studio. So we'll be introducing her just in a while. And an amazing woman, has done many things. And obviously the topic of discussion tonight is surviving stroke and coming back from the brink. And when we think of the brink, that's like the brink of what? The precipice?
The thin line.
The edge.
Yeah.
Right? So awesome. So we'll be speaking to Shirley very soon. Mm-hmm. So Lily, breaking news this week.
So what have you seen in the news?
Well, first of it is February, which is International Friendship Month. And it's actually International Friendship Month in the US.
Okay.
However, they have a Friendship Day in the UK, but in the US, February's been the Friendship Month, and they celebrate the whole month of friendship, and as well as our day, one day in August.
Do you know what I like about the fact that it's Friendship Month?
No.
It's also America's Black History Month. So it seems to work nice hand in hand. Friendship, unity, learning about one's heritage. It's quite nice. I
was just telling you before we came on about a lecture that I went to yesterday. It was David Olusoga. He's a historian in this country. And I must say, it was awesome. It was so good. He did bring a lot on, like slavery, but actually in quite a positive way.
Okay.
And like you just said there about our heritage, and that he said that so many things have been in our vision, but we don't see it.
Yeah.
So really looking at a lot of positive black figures in our history that were obviously brought it here as slaves, but spoke about how you see them in a lot of portraits in the National Gallery, right under Nelson's column.
Wow.
There's a thing there with a black soldier that was a sniper. So much. So we're going to cover some of that. And seeing as it is US Black History Month, we said we were going to start last October, didn't we?
Yeah. As
regards to our history. So it's down to us to really make it count, make it matter. Yeah?
Definitely.
So it's International Friendship Month, US as well as Black History Month. And how wonderful is that? However, in breaking news, we've seen a few things. And I think one of the most important ones there actually is that the UK is going to open a visa scheme for Hong Kong residents to become UK citizens. Your thoughts on that?
Why Hong Kong residents? So we no longer want to be part of the European Union, but we're just allowing random countries to come in. And I think at a time when you're sending everybody home, why now all of a sudden are you offering another country citizenship? Windrush, you're sending people home, and now you're offering your citizenship to a completely different.
The thing is, I think that the Hong Kong Chinese were under British rule, were they at one point?
I have no clue. Honestly,
so it says, because it says residents of Hong Kong can apply, and that was starting from Sunday gone. They can apply for a visa of the opportunity to become British citizens in the UK, and really that they're trying to run away or escape the crackdown on the descent of the semi-autonomous city. So this is Hong Kong City. And I had to ask, what is semi-autonomous? I didn't quite understand what that was, but it means that they're not independent. So in some of the choices that they make, they can independently make them, their own choices.
Yeah.
Whereas in some things they can't. They've got to follow a protocol.
What is that like having, you're only allowed a certain number of children and stuff like that?
Yeah, more than likely that.
Oh, welcome to England. There's not going to be much difference here.
Yeah.
Some decisions we can make, some we can't. Currently we're under that thumb where we can't move freely. That's a decision we can't make.
Yeah, well, we'll see once they kind of open it up, because you often wonder what is all this building work for? You'd think, it's for the British residents.
No, it's not.
But
it's really not.
But because they're all so high rise, they're kind of used to that kind of living as well, aren't
It's
they?
not even that. So when you look at the British economy, when you speak about housing, we have quite a poor housing system here, where there are a lot of homeless people. There are a lot of people who are on waiting lists for housing. There are a lot of people that are in emergency accommodation and things like that. So you see all of these buildings going up. Oh, great, housing. Nope, that housing is not for those people. It's not being built by councils. It's not being built by housing associations. It's being built by
private investors.
You know, that are wanting money to come into our economy, and the one way they can do that is through real estate.
Wow.
And they don't, particularly people that are coming here aren't buying to stay. They might have a holiday home and go back to where they're from, or buy and rent out.
It's quite interesting in you saying that. So the country that we would have probably been better sent back home when it comes to Windrush, but can you see how they've done it? Even ones that have been here and built up the economy, built up the system, they're not even citizens.
No,
they've shafted them out, sent them home, and bringing up people that have not that they've building the economy in a financial way.
Yeah, of course.
So
that's what matters, isn't it? That's what matters, is the finances.
It's absolutely atrocious. It's disgusting.
Come to our country, do the work. We don't want you now. You can go back to where we think you're from.
Yeah.
And then, and even someone, it was you that said it to me, and then Nana said it to me again. We made a joke about it when I said, we can get our Jamaican passport now. I'm going to get my Jamaican passport. And then when we thought about it, hold on a second. Dual citizenship?
No, it's gone. You're either one or the other.
No, but it's not even that. Now they're sending people back. What happens if you've got dual citizenship? I've got a Jamaican passport. So does that mean that they can send me... I'm born and bred here. Does that mean that they can send me...
But remember, we spoke about this girl with that Begum, that something Begum, I can't remember her first name.
Oh, the one that's... They withdrew her citizenship.
She was born in this country.
Yeah.
So being born somewhere doesn't necessarily mean that you're a citizen of that country. Because these ones from Hong Kong, as it says, the UK said the law which punishes, the way that they're treated in Hong Kong, that they won't be treated like that here. And it says that London has argued it has a moral duty to the people of Hong Kong.
It has no moral duty to what? Have you have a duty to your own nation?
Thank you. What about moral to the people that have been here, worked so hard, built up the whole situation, and you're gonna just,
But let's look back at history. You spoke about history and knowing our heritage. Let's look back at British history. That's what they do. They go in, they colonise, they welcome, take over countries that they have no place in being involved in. Oh, our way is better. And then look, 10 years down the line, no, we don't want to be part of you anymore. Bye.
Yeah.
It's not anything new. It's not something they haven't done before,
I just think that this thing now, though, it says thousands are going to flee from Hong Kong and come to the UK. So we're going to see a very, very different demographic. I mean, we have seen the Polish come in. We've seen we came in. It was the Greeks. It was the Turkish, and now it's going to be the Hong Kong's China, right? Chinese.
I don't think it makes a difference, to be honest. I think we're so multicultural in England anyway. I mean, in London, we obviously have the use the word privilege very lightly, but we have the privilege of being multicultural, where we see loads of different nations in one area. Whereas if we were to go somewhere like up north, we'd be a rarity. So it's different in that sense, where those areas might notice the influx of different nationalities coming in. But for us, I don't really think it's anything that we haven't seen, we haven't experienced. It's not anything new.
The funny thing is, it says that everything we value, freedom of speech, fair elections, liberties, has been eroded. It's no longer the Hong Kong we knew. But I never knew that they had freedom of speech there anyway, because I thought it was a communist government.
I don't know.
Yeah, so unless they was separate, unless Hong Kong, I should have done a little bit more research to find out if Hong Kong is separate from China, and that they have a whole different regime if they're under the same government, or are they under the British? government?
They're not under
Can
the
anyone
British.
tell me?
I don't think they're under. I just find it very interesting that those are the things that they value, and they're leaving their home thinking that coming here is going to be any different.
No,
We don't have freedom of speech here.
exactly.
We don't have the right to make our own decisions, because if we did, half of us wouldn't be wearing certain attire out in public. We would be travelling freely.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things that we wouldn't have to abide by if we were allowed to do what we wanted to do.
And that's the thing. We'd like to think that we've got it good, we've got it easy, but in the matter of the truth, should we say, it is just so the opposite. We've been locked up in our houses for almost a year now.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, if that's what they think they're going to come here and get, it will be a rude awakening, I think.
It also makes me laugh at the fact that we were supposed to have our borders closed, but now we're welcoming people from different. I don't understand.
I've read this. What was it? Oh, the thoughts gone. About the new strain.
Yeah.
In Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've rounded it down to one
So
area.
it's more than one area. It's Tottenham, some places in the ME postcode. So there's different postcodes that are hotspots. And the reason this has come about is there's now a door-to-door swab that you can have.
Okay.
Door-to-door test. So in these areas, they're going to do door-to-door testing. However, I know that you can get a test sent to your house and get a result in 24 hours. You can get it couriered to your house.
That's what they're playing at.
So I don't really understand why I need someone knocking my door to give me a swab. And actually, I don't think it's, even though they're claiming it's a certain area, like Tottenham, for example, I don't think that's the area that's a hotspot. I think it's an area right next to there, but because of the demographic, they have to be a bit more, is Tottenham.
Terrible. What is happening in the world, beautiful people? Please let us know.
It's
You can call us at any time. In fact, the lines will open around 6:45. So the number is 07895 134 713. That's 07895 134 713. Oh, what happened there? Oh, so next on the agenda, your what would you say? So we've spoken about Hong Kong and the influx of new citizens that we'll be having.
I think the next one that was against Marcus Rashford. He was racially abused on social media after his team drew 0-0 with Arsenal.
Right.
Man U forward Marcus Rashford says racial abuse he's received online after the draw was humanity and social media at its worst.
It's quite sad, given the fact of what he's been doing over this past period that we spoke about him the last time. And like you said the other day, it's not your efforts aren't seen, it's the effect. The effect of what comes from your effort.
Yeah.
And what he's done there for feeding all these young people, the underprivileged, and yet they're hailing him out online. I think
they're not hailing him out, they're being racist.
Oh, but that's nothing new in this country. It's it's so apparent now. It's like oil and water. So you shake up oil and water, and you can't really see. You can see the little bits of oil just floating in, but you let it settle, and then the oil all rises to the top. Yeah, this is, to me, what's happened when it comes to the racism.
Do you know why I think it is? I think so many different things have contributed, but I think that the fact we're going through a very, very tumultuous time right now, where, let's be blunt, ethnic groups are being targeted as the reason for our pandemic. Let's be fair. So looking back at the Hong Kong, allowing people in from Hong Kong. Hong Kong is obviously near China.
Wuhan, yeah. Okay. It might not be that close, but but there's that connection. Yes.
Yeah. Opinion disclosed. Whatever we usually say. This is our opinion. This is not fact. But it started there, and then all of a sudden it became a black thing. And from that moment, I saw a different type of racism in my workplace. We practically got racially abused the other day with the whole mask situation, you know.
Oh yeah, when we was out shopping.
And it's given people permission. You say freedom of speech. Yeah, only certain people have freedom of speech. Because if it was me that then said those comments to other people,
you'd have been held
something
out
would
for
be done
it.
about it.
Yeah.
But this whole pandemic, this whole Brexit that we're supposed to be going through, that we're not really going through, that we aren't seeing anything happening, but it's happening behind the closed doors. All of this has given the racists an opportunity to show their true colours.
I think it was always there, but they're always sweeping it under the carpet.
Yeah.
But I think in this time, people just aren't going to put up with it. I saw this video, I don't know how old the video was, of this man, and he had a petrol can and he was trying to douse these young boys in petrol and set them on fire, calling them niggers, whatever. So they were filming when in fact they should have just probably gone off and just left him to his own devices, but then he could have gone on and done much more harm.
Yeah.
So after a certain amount of time, one of the young boys take up him foot and kick him down.
Yeah. But the boy will get in more trouble for kicking him down.
Him fall down, mash up him head upon the floor. And now the repercussions, at the end of the day, that was racial violence. He doused him in petrol. So what do you do in that situation? What would you do in that situation, beautiful people? Someone's there with a petrol can. Would you kick them down? Would you run? Would you fight or flight? That's what it is, fight or flight.
But then this is what I'm saying, if the shoe was on the other foot and this young black boy was dousing the white guy with petrol, that would be enough. That would be enough for him to get hauled out on it. That would be enough for the police to say, no, this is unacceptable behaviour. We
Police
sort
took
this
their time
out.
coming as well. The police took their time in coming as well.
Of course they did.
And so you would see a whole different situation. You think, oh no, it's an old man being kicked down on the floor. When in fact you didn't see everything that went on before that.
But regardless if you didn't see it, you could smell the petrol.
But the can, by the time the boy kicked him down on the floor, the petrol can is laying obviously by the side of his head. So you go in and see that situation from not seeing everything. You might draw other conclusions.
Nah. If the boy smells like petrol, the man was pouring on petrol on him.
It's very, very...
And we live in a world where everyone's always got their
times.
phone in their hand. So someone was recording that situation.
Yeah, someone was recording it.
There you go.
But at the end of the day, who is going to be held accountable in that situation? Madness. So Marcus Rashford there, he has been racially abused and he has done a lot of very great things for young underprivileged people. Yet, just because it was a 0-0, at least it wasn't a 1-0 draw, people. Come on.
But the thing is, that as well, racism in football is nothing new.
Oh, do you know what I learnt yesterday as well on this lecture? That the insignia on both Manchester's, what they call the on the shirts that they wear, is it called an epaulette? What that they
the
wear,
label,
or the label that they wear? They both have connotations to the slave trade. I was taken aback. So I don't know what's on the Manchester United shirt, and I don't know what's on the Manchester City, is it?
I thought Man United was a lion.
Yeah. But there's a connotation in that. It was a man with a boat or something like that. So
But how can it if it's a lion, where's the man with a boat?
it's the insignia on their shirts are related to the slave trade, because again, Manchester was a big city. It was a place where they had the mills, and they were very rich at that time. And yes, it does. So I'll do a little bit more research and find out. And if anyone out there knows what is the insignia on Manchester City and Manchester United's shirts, and there is actually a history behind all of that. So you see, when we don't know, it's good to know when we don't know, isn't it? And it's amazing when we do know, because then we can just, okay, Lily?
But knowing that information, what difference does it make?
It doesn't, but it pertains to history. It still pertains to history and how it's followed through. And these things are right in front of us and we don't know what they are.
Yeah, but
we have no idea as to why is that there. We have no idea as to why do we say that. We have no idea as to why do we do that. We just do it.
But I feel like as things, I don't like using the word evolve, but as things develop through time, those meanings change. Like, for example, the Nazi sign. The origin of that sign is actually not negative and it's a sign of peace.
Ethiopian, yeah.
However, many few people know that. And the only acknowledgement is it's a derogatory, racist, evil sign. Because now we in this day and age, we know what that relates to. That kind of cancels out what its previous meaning was. So, like, for example, the emblems, the signs on the football shirts, and this is in no way me condoning them having links to slavery or whatever, but at that time, when that was a thing, yes, that's what it relates to. However, as time has gone on, that's...
You saying it might just be something different. It might mean something different.
Yeah.
We'll have to do our research and then we can see if it does mean something else, then that's fine. If it doesn't, then it just goes to show hidden in plain sight. Everything's hidden in plain sight.
Yeah.
We see things, but we don't see it. And that's that. I think that was a point that David Olusoga was making. Everything is there for us to see. We can go and see the archives. I think we spoke about this before.
Yeah, Margaret
there's a lot of things that we can have access to, and there's lots of things around us, literally, that we are unaware of. We're going to just take this call and then we'll go to break. Hello.
Hi, Natasha. It's Olivia. How are you?
Oh, hello, Olivia. How are you? I'm good, thank you.
Is it okay to talk?
Yes.
It's been a while. I've been really busy, but no, I was just hearing about the dousing of the young boy in petrol. That is frightening. But his according to the Human Rights Act 1998, whether the action of dousing means that the perpetrator, should be charged for it, really.
Of course.
So, but it's just terrible.
Yeah.
And as is it Lily? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, Lily. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Yes, you was talking about the Nazi sign. It's actually the Indian peace sign.
Yeah, I know.
So,
yeah.
So it's like they've taken something so good and turned it on its head, like the Aryan race. No, the Aryan race does not originate. It originates from somewhere in the Asian subcontinent. There's it's not Germanic. So there you go.
Yeah, and this is what we're saying. We're saying that something that was so positive previously, because so few people are aware of this. I'm just saying that as a general. Many people just refer to that sign as a negative thing because they don't know about the previous
the real symbolism,
the real meaning behind it. And that's what I'm saying with the Manchester City and Manchester United pictures. Now it's a positive thing because that's my team, that's Man United, that's Man City, and actually
but it came from somewhere negative.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, in that sense, turning something positive from negative, I think I'd rather that from turning something positive into something evil.
Exactly. Yes.
So, and it's just sad that people are still going on. I mean, why? The footballer, he's done so many good things, and. It's like, hello, you know, what is wrong with you people? Come on.
I think what it is, Olivia, that people forget very easily, or maybe some people don't like the fact that he's doing that. It could be many reasons why.
I know, because he's black, he's not white, and it's been highlighted. And the other thing is that today, I don't know if you heard that, is it Tom died, the Captain Tom?
The old man, is it the old?
Yes. And I think his family was getting trolled with regards to why are you allowed to go and visit him in hospital? Yeah. I'm thinking, how do you feel now that he's died? You know, exactly. It's like, so it's just like, does it matter? I mean, not everyone, you know. So sometimes you can be generous in allowing people to. I don't know. Sometimes not everybody gets a chance, but if somebody else gets a chance, it doesn't matter. You just have to be generous. That's all.
I think humanity is missing. Olivia, thank you so much for your call. We're going to go to a short break.
Thank you so much too, and you guys continue, please. It's really good. And I just wanted to say that I'm so glad that Biden won, and the vice president, he's the second in charge is of mixed origin. Thank God.
We'll see how it unfolds.
Yes, well, at least it's a start.
Yes.
I mean, with Obama, and then, because they need to be in public view for all minorities to say that you can do it. There is no, you have the chance to do it. You know,
it's being able and being allowed to have that opportunity as well.
Exactly,
because we are blocked on so many levels. We can be blocked on so many levels.
That's true, but we have to try as well.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely, totally agree.
You take care, you guys, and continue.
Thank you.
Your good work. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Auch in Deutschland hören wir All Flavors Radio, die beste Musik rund die Uhr.
All Flavors Radio plays what you want to hear when you want to hear it 24/7.
Have you ever wondered what therapy is and how it can help with our mental well-being? To find out more, please join me every week on a Wednesday for the Wednesday Wellbeing Show, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. on All Flavors Radio with Darnell, the therapist.
Hi, I am Wimbo, and this is
Naturally Lily. Join us every Tuesday evening between 6 and 8 for the Drive Time Radio Show,
where we talk about things that are for us, by us, on current events and matters of the heart. AllFlavorsRadio.com.
See you in the chat room.
This is a very important health message. My name is Errol McKellar, MBE. I am a prostate cancer survivor and founder of the charity, the Errol McKellar Foundation. Do you know that over 47,000 men a year are diagnosed with prostate cancer? Do you also know that over 11,000 men also die of prostate cancer? That means that one man will die every 45 minutes. Do you also know that 1 in 8 European men will die of prostate cancer? But more frighteningly, that 1 in 4 Afro-Caribbean men will die of prostate cancer. But the truth is, prostate cancer doesn't care about your color. Prostate cancer doesn't care about your wealth. Prostate cancer doesn't care about you. What prostate cancer will do, if you ignore it, it will kill you. At the Errol McKellar Foundation, our aims and mission is to talk with as many men and their partners as possible to ensure they are fully aware of the dangers posed by prostate cancer, recognizing potential symptoms and know about the available tests and information. We want to stop men from dying through ignorance and fear. For more details, please visit www.theerrolmckellarfoundation.com or email temf2018@gmail.com. Please remember that health is your wealth.
All Flavors Radio.
The best music from around the world.
Now, here comes the music.
the original Mr. Fix-It. I hope you're feeling better. DJ Charlie Muir, Darnell the Therapist, Ninja Man Lloyd, Caddy, and DJ Nige.
Everybody say it. Just for me.
So Lily, we've been looking at the insignias on these football teams, and were you quite surprised?
Yeah, I was. So the Man City one is very obvious. There's a ship on there. And it's got a little writing underneath. It's Superbia in Prodio or something like that.
Latin.
And it means pride in battle.
Okay.
So argument, maybe they're battleships, I don't know, it's still a ship. But it's consistently had the ship on it. It's had some variations. I know someone put a skull in the chat, but there's never been a skull from looking at the past ones. The past emblems of Man City, there's not really been anything like that on their emblems, but the ship is definitely there. Now, the Man United one, it's very, what did I say to you? It's like you barely even notice it.
Unless you're really looking.
But it's there. It's quite shocking, actually. Because I was like, there's no ship there. There's no ship. I can't see a ship. But it's there.
Yeah.
Very subtly.
But then I guess people might say, oh, well, you can't equate all ships to slavery.
No, you can't. And as black people, I think we need to make sure that we don't always make that mistake.
Yes.
But it's just the fact that it's something so subtle, it's something so small. If that is what it relates to, you would never know, would you?
So again, it's down to do research and finding out the real meaning behind what it is, right?
No, I don't agree.
No, why not?
Because why are we researching into everything?
Well, if you want
I support this football team. Oh no, wait, I can't support them because their thing is
but it doesn't mean you can't support them, Leash. It doesn't mean you can't support someone because at the end of the day, we can't hold it against someone for what you can't hold it against someone for what their dad did or what their great granddad did. You can't. Times do move on. So that's
what
one
I'm
thing.
saying. Why do we need to research into everything? As a nation, I understand why we need to research our past, but why do we need to pick up on every little thing? Things that are going to have, you researching it is going to have, it's never going to change, that particular thing, and you can't have any impact on it.
But you can have an impact on it because you didn't know about it before I found out about it, right?
That's true.
Not that it's had any impact on you, I don't know.
It makes no difference to how I view them.
But we know a bit more.
We all know that Manchester United is trash. Sorry, Kelvin. But yeah,
I was saying it's quite funny that Marcus Rashford would also play for the team.
Yeah,
but then you just don't know. You don't know. And you can't hold things against people. We do have to move on in life. Yes, we do. But we can learn things from what's gone before us as well. I always say that. We can all learn from the past as well as, looking on in the future with a quite positive outlook on life. So it's just really how we accept it and what we do with the information.
Yeah, because something I was at a meeting on the weekend and they was talking about looking at our past, and they're talking about looking at the good old days, but also looking at things in a negative light. Things were negative before, yes, they were not nice, and no one likes to dwell on those negative things, but some people live in those negative moments.
It's living there,
and that's what I think we need to get away from. Slavery happened, yes it did, however, how we've moved past that in so many different ways that we don't need to live in that negativity. The same thing with like the civil rights movements and things like that. Those horrible situations happened, segregation happened. We're living in a form of, oppression of our people at the moment. However, if we live in the negativity, we're never going to be able to make that change.
It's quite funny you say that because I saw another documentary and it blew me away. I've never really looked into it, and it was the prison system in the United States of America.
Yeah.
And it's just another form of Jim Crow law.
Yeah.
And it's deep.
It's so deep. To control the black people.
Because
black men.
And the people that are heading it are big corporations.
Yeah.
Like when I saw Victoria's Secret, I wondered why I never bought any of their stuff. Like it's all cheap anyway. But, I was shocked. I was... Again, disclaimer, that's my opinion, because some people might like Victoria's Secrets, but they too, the women or whatever, they're making the garments to be sold.
Yeah.
And it is a huge corporation. There's corporations that are supporting this. It's terrible. It's terrible.
It's how, and this is going back to slavery. It's how slavery managed to get into the, to continue into this new age.
2021, Lee.
Where, not even 2021, when slavery ended, they needed a way to keep them as slaves, but make it legal.
Ooh.
So, I can't have you in the house picking cotton, but actually, if you can't eat, you're going to have to find a way to eat food, which means you're most probably 65 to 95% going to steal something to eat. I have to find a way to trap you in that horrible rat race so that I can keep you as a slave. And that's what the prison system is. They let them, freed the slaves, and I say that with air quotes, and then put them in a position where they couldn't get jobs, they couldn't support their families, so they had to struggle and find other methods to support their families, and those other methods some of the time were not positive methods, so they stuck them in the building and made them do the work that way.
Do you know, and the thing is as well, we call them African Americans, and at the end of the day, some of them were there already. What we have to realise is a lot of them, the majority of them were there already as well. So it's vicious, but we will cover that. And
the term itself, African American, was created in 1985 by someone who wanted to find a way to refer to people of colour because they weren't allowed to say coloured anymore.
Interesting, very, very interesting. So it's like it's just not leaving us until the matter is actually dealt with, and it isn't being dealt with because there's so many underhanded ways in which they're getting around the issue. When it's still very, very apparent. We know in Libya, it's a very big issue. Slavery is still a very big issue. United States, again, it's still a very big issue. And it's a whole heap of dust that you can't sweep under the carpet, man.
Can I give my opinion?
Yes, you can.
And I may get a lot of evil eyes through the stereo here. But the only way I think we will overcome the whole oppression, and I don't think we're there anytime soon, is if we stop asking to be allowed
validation.
Stop making it a black and white thing. Oh, but the white person got that job because they're white, or I've got to work harder. Okay, but if you keep on saying that, they can hear you. They're not going to make it any easier for you.
No. So we just have to keep finding ways in how we can make progress and move on and move ahead in the struggle, because the struggle is real, man. And work as a collective, as a people, working together to make that progress. Because all that, it was JP Morgan, I think, was one of the big companies. That's one of the corporations behind all of this, and some really big named companies. I was shocked to my core. And I mean, sometimes we just don't pay attention to these things, so we're paying attention to other things. But there's so much going on, so much more than... We're in this little bubble at the moment, and I'm just wondering, when is this bubble going to explode? And when it does...
We're in a bubble.
Like for this whole year, the situation that we've been in.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
There's nothing to not be sure about. What's happening is happening, and there's nothing right now lay people can do about it.
And I don't like that term.
I just don't think there's any point in trying to look too deep into it, because you're not gonna... The more you dig, is the deeper down in the hole you're gonna have to try and get back out of.
Yeah.
And we're living in this atrocious situation that someone has created, yes. But digging is not going to get us anywhere.
Just got to take one day at a time, as they always say, isn't
Literally,
it?
take today and try and get to tomorrow.
Oh, beautiful people. What are your thoughts? 07895 134 713. 07895 134 713. And we do actually have a question for you out there. So the first question is it okay to propose to your man? So we thought we'd throw this one out because I saw this one and I thought that's a really interesting question. And so that's the first question that we're asking you, the audience, allflavorsradio.com. Is it okay to propose to your man? Your thoughts, Lily?
No.
So blunt like that? No.
Okay. the male proposal is, let's look at the relationship in this way. He has, you're interested in him, he's interested in you. He has, what's the word? Pursued you, and you've, no, I'm not interested in that. And then all of it, you've given him your time. Yeah? You've given him your time. You've given him of your love, your kindness, you've given him you.
Mm.
If he really wants to be with you, he will make that happen.
Okay.
But I think a lot of females think, because it's the man that's supposed to make that step. Men find it very hard to let go of that singleness, in my opinion. And that engagement is him saying, I'm not ready, but I want to make that step to just dedicate myself to you. A man finds that harder to do than a woman.
Right. But who made the rule that it should be the man? Who made the rule?
It's not a rule. It's we spoke about being emotional and rational on the show before. An emotional woman, oh, we've been dating for a year and he's not proposing, he don't love me. No, he's not proposing because he don't think he's ready to embark on this thing called life with you. Life University, as we'll hear shortly.
Right.
It has its modules, it has its stages. You can't just skip one module because you want to get to the end of the course. No.
Yeah, you've got to do the modules.
And logic says, men are logical. Men think that, do you know what, I got to do that. Nah, she's not ready. Nah, I'm not ready for that. No, then we're going to have kids. And we're gonna, do you know what I mean? There are a lot more things, and we don't think that these things go through men's minds, but they do. We're emotional. As soon as, we get certain things when we're attached, that's it. He's our man for life. He knows that we ain't going nowhere. But you asking him, you getting down on one knee, when no woman should be bending to no man, yeah? You getting down on one knee. Oh, baby.
You're making a lot of sweeping statements here,
Will
Lily.
you marry me? It's almost emasculating.
Kimmy B says here, she says, it's not right to propose to your man, but it is okay. You sound like Whitney Houston.
Is that right? But it's okay.
Right, it says, if that's how you want it, show that you can't wait for him to propose. All right, so it's like you said there, not being patient enough to wait. But what if it's 10 years down the line and 3 kids later?
Not to be funny, but you got to 3 kids, he's yours.
Okay.
And if he hasn't proposed to you after 3 kids,
oh dear.
you'd be asking
See,
some questions.
that's for another time. So what about old ways won't open new doors? Joy says old ways.
I love Joy's statements. I love them.
It's not. It's. She also says some man will feel less of a man if their woman proposes to them. Kimmy B says it. Hi, Kimmy B. It's again.
I just feel that's the role of a man. A woman gets to plan a wedding. A woman gets to basically say, "I want my wedding." Like a man, are you going to have your man plan your wedding? No. So at least give him this one contribution. Give him this one. Baby, I love you. Down on one knee. Oh my God. Yes. You have those moments. Like, let's be honest. Every girl waits for that one moment that a man proposes to her. And I don't think we think about it on the other side. Like, does a man see that moment as special? He most probably does.
What do you
think,
guys?
And then you go down and get down on one knee.
07895 134 713. We're going to go to a quick ad break. Oh, okay. We're going to quickly take this call and then we will go to the ad break.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Are you live? No, I'm on the wrong number, aren't I?
No, you're on the right number.
That's fine. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Yes. I'm slightly delayed.
All right, turn your radio down.
Turn your radio
You've
off.
got to turn off everything, don't worry. No one will unplug it. Right, yes. I would say old tradition for getting married and the old proposal was, yes, that would have been correct in the days where women weren't working. I'll get to that, right? When women weren't working and they tend to stay at home. Of today, okay, by a writer, an author by the name of John Gray, has stated now that most women that are independent want a husband. Yep, they actually want a wife at home. They don't actually want a husband because they've become the husband. So nowadays, a lot of women have that aspect of, do you know what? I can do whatever a man does. I can build a house. The only thing you can't do is get a man pregnant, which, let's get
I'm
into
sure
that.
they're working on it.
Hold on. Which is, there was an article not so long ago where a man had a sex change, and his partner, he became the woman. No, sorry. The woman became the man, and the man became the woman, and there was a baby involved. Yes,
How
do you understand?
is that? Yeah.
So it's like, for instance, things have turned around. So when we can say traditionally, old school, yes, we shouldn't. A man should propose to a woman, and but that role has I would say out of 100%, it's probably about 35% now. Okay, because a lot of women now are becoming men. Sorry. Independent. I can fork out for myself. I don't need no man. Do you understand?
Is that their roles that they're becoming male orientated, so therefore they can do?
Saying that they're independent, they can do for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, honestly, and in this day and age, it's about being fashionable, about doing something different. So that's what people do now. The younger generation are proposing. So when you keep, let's ask another question. Put that to when you say, is it okay for a woman to ask a man to get married? Well, how about same-sex marriages?
Okay.
But that's a bit different. I guess that's different. That's a whole...
No, marriage is marriage.
Show. That's a whole other show, DiCarlo.
It is, but marriage is marriage. You can't separate them because if you separate them, what are you being?
But then in same-sex relationships, someone always takes on the masculine role, someone always takes on the feminine role. So then saying that, is the one that's more masculine expected to be the proposer? I think so.
Yeah, but that's what we think. That doesn't always happen. Somebody might take the role every week. So they might have turns. They love each other. You don't know. So that's what I'm saying.
We're not behind closed doors to...
Us prompting, yes, exactly. Us prompting and thinking, well, that's the way it is. And that's the same with us prompting, that's the way it is. It's not right. It's changed.
Yeah. I feel like I still have quite traditional ideals, even though I both me and my husband work. We both are breadwinners, if that's the term. I still feel like, yes, I have some form of independence, but that independence doesn't make me think that the men's role should be different than the females. There should be some kind of confusion there. And I did see something the other day where a woman was saying, men want a stay-at-home, they want a woman to do this, but yet the whole roles in itself have changed. Women go out to work, then let's go back to traditional values. And I don't agree with that. I don't think we should go back to...
Exactly. So you can't go back to... You can't just keep some things traditional and everything else, you can do what you want to do.
No, because I think in today's society, we're unable to go back to those traditional values because the cost of living does not allow that.
Exactly.
It's not because of my desire to be completely independent. It's because of my desire to make sure that my family are well cared for.
Exactly. Because there's powerful women out there. There are very powerful women out there, okay, that take the man role.
Yeah.
Okay, and they will not let their man take that role of, like, for instance, I'm gonna ask you to marry me. Yeah, there might be a slight inkling like, I want to be proposed to. But when it gets back down to the bottom line, it's like, no, I provide. I don't need no man. I can provide for myself. When you hear, I don't need no man, I can provide for myself, then that's that role of a man. That's when you start having battles and fights with your wife.
Do you know what I say to women that say that? I don't need no man, fine, but do you want one? Then you will act right. Because you still have to, this again, disclaimer, opinion, you do have to still have that kind of, you know, you're not a slave to no man. Yeah, it's great, you can support yourself, but if you want to be in a relationship with a man, or you want to be in a relationship, you have to have some understanding, you have to have some compromise, you have to have some, you know, middle ground where you're saying, okay, this is what you do for this relationship and this is what I do for this relationship. And I think it's the same when it comes to proposals. When you have a conversation, you don't, like, for example, myself, I'm going to speak from experience, I would never have gotten down on one knee and proposed to my husband, but I'm sure I dropped enough hints.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
As DiCarlo's saying, that times have changed, so sticking to those traditional values, sticking to the way that things were done in the past, again, that has changed. Just like you said about going back to the past, slavery, it all links in. It really, doing the research, it is all relative in the sense that, like, it is just what it is. And
but there are other cases.
DJ Laro says, ouch. DJ Laro is saying, ouch, out there. You need to elaborate with that on that for us, please, DJ Laro. But
there are other situations where women have proposed and the man has said yes, but then the man's still done the traditional way to ask her, but he didn't do it. He didn't try to outdo her. Yeah, he just wanted to do his part,
which is cute.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman asking a man, but you know, if a woman asks a man to marry him and him say no, the relationship done. Alright, my dog.
Alright, later. Thank you
Enjoy
for your
show.
call.
Alright then. Alright. Bye bye.
Oh my life.
All Flavors Radio.
Many ask the questions if you are in existence. I can hear a son ask why his mother has to suffer as he saw her dying with cancer. Jesus. A sister cried, saw her brother in a casket, held his cold hands, but still there's no answer. Jesus, how you made the world, how you made the sea, who next will leave, I have no answer. That's why you are God. I believe you knew before it happened. Yes, Lord, I believe that you did a miracle. Lord, I believe if I obey, I will die in your will. Please of me to sit and be still. Jesus, of me to walk in your will. This flesh sometimes gets the best of me. I didn't believe, Lord, all I had was faith in me. Oh, my faith, it's not determined by the toughest situation, but how I needed you without a tribulation. You must feel used to hear us calling when we only need a blessing. And if you don't come, we doubt if you're really true. Lord, forgive us.
Sounds of Jermaine Edwards.
One fingers even try to blame you, but the problem is how we are fools.
Sing a high five to George Flavors, South Malaysia. How are you doing out there?
Hey, Lord,
also shouting out Camilla and Chrissy. How are you doing, ladies? And that great call there from DiCarlo and Olivia, giving you a big shout out. As well as an ouch from DJ Laro. DJ Laro, you can catch him from 8 till 10 tonight. Also, Kenny, you alright? And Joy McKay, who we will be speaking to shortly. As well as Kimmy B. How you doing?
But I stand still and I'll never let go.
Shouting out Mark Philogene, who will be on from 10 to 12 tonight. And Pele and Sonia. Come and join us in the chat room.
Yes, I believe it. Hey,
Also shouting out everyone on WhatsApp and tune in.
Lord, help me to walk in your will. Lord,
Oh yeah, Jermaine Edwards, an amazing singer, amazing singer. Okay, you're live online, you're live on radio, so I'm great that we've got you on with us now. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, good stuff. Now, everyone, sure you know Joy McKay, and she's Shirley Russel, and I'm going to let one out of the bag. She is actually my mother. Okay, so we thought we'd get her on the show. She's Reverend Shirley, and she had a stroke about just under 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. She lost her husband, and just things went squee-whiff, didn't they? Went askew. So we called the show She's Come Back from the Brink, and really just asking her and letting people out there know how we can survive stroke and the whole process. So hi Shirley. Hi Mum. You all right?
Yes, I'm right, thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, and good evening to all Flavors Land. I've had fun playing gifts with you.
Right. Yes.
We've got gremlins in the studio today, guys.
There's lots of gremlins. Yes, Shirley.
Yes. What would you like to know?
So coming back from the brink then.
Coming back from the brink.
Yes.
During the year 2018, I had quite a few mishaps.
Right.
Lost my husband in January. Had a stroke. I had 2 strokes and a heart attack in March. And really, at one stage, I could not walk. I could not talk properly. The first stroke took away my speech. The next week, I had a second stroke and a heart attack. Speech came back, but my right side went. So it's been a very serious uphill battle, but I give thanks.
Because she was doing,
the Lord is always on your side.
You were doing a lot before your stroke, right? Could you tell us a bit about what your life was like before?
Before the stroke?
Yes.
Before the stroke, I was extremely active. I am a chaplain as well as I do street pastoring. I'm a school pastor also. And I'm actually a visiting guest speaker with different churches. I like to believe I'm part of a church without walls. And I went into like the centers. I saw those of the deportees that they would always send home. So I went to do prayers and stuff with them.
Right.
And it was quite a busy program for me. I also traveled extensively, but the last actual speaking engagement was with Dr. Miles Monroe in Israel.
Okay, yeah. So coming, you had quite an extensive schedule, quite busy. Then you had some very sad news. Your husband passed away.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up on that.
Am I? Your husband passed away, and then overall, you went into a kind of dark period, right?
Yeah, when David passed, I really I took it really badly. So part of what caused me to actually have to visit the doctor when I went home to Jamaica, came back in February. When February, came back in March. And when I did, I was really pretty low. So I went to the doctor, and they changed the medication, and within a matter of days, hey, I was there having strokes. What happened, which they subsequently found out, is that they had doubled my portion. In other words, I was getting insulin now, and I was already taking pills. We should have been removed, but wasn't. And so after the fact of everything that happened, when I came home, I realized a lot had gone down. So I chose not to take any form of painkillers or any medicine for pain, but I still progressed with the insulin and some of the other medication. But I was taking far too much.
Right. So
and that was discovered. I went through 4 different hospitals before they found out what was.
Yeah, they flagged that up, didn't they, at one of the hospitals, that it was, well, you knew already anyway that the doctor had overprescribed medication, and thus you ended up in that situation. And then they flagged that up again at one of the hospitals, didn't they?
Yeah, they flagged it up at Royal Free.
Yeah.
But then I went from UCLA, Whittington, Homerton. I just went through the spectrum, but I think, like, since I have been home,
yeah,
I've had to be self-medicating with going back to my roots with my herbs. And that has brought me a mighty long way, because I couldn't walk. They gave me a machine that lifts my foot.
Yep.
Called the FES. And it lifts my toes so I could walk. But before I was unable to walk, because during the stroke, my foot dropped.
But even your progression during that time, even during your progression from when you had your first strokes to when you was discharged from hospital, you made quite quick progress, didn't you? You did very well with your physio and your rehabilitation while you was actually inside the hospital.
Because I was determined I was not going to be laying flat on that bed. I've been back to the hospital quite a few times and see people still laying there that was there before me.
Wow.
And that was not my portion. And I asked the Lord. That's why Jermaine Edwards brought me a long way. He knew before it happened. But I guess I had some things to learn. Part of my job is pastoral care and counseling. And so when I do that, I'd see people coming in to me who had similar. But at the time, I didn't know what it felt like.
That was prior to the stroke, wasn't it? That people would come and tell you about stroke, and you think, and this is a thing, isn't it? Someone can come and tell us something, but until we experience it,
until
it's a
you're
totally
in
different
it,
thing.
You'll never know what's happening.
So what about What about your rehabilitation then? Because we're going to probably progress and speak on that. What about rehabilitation?
Rehabilitation is that I started because I didn't get the kind of assistance, or that's the point. Most people are just frustrated because they're just left to their own devices. But I was determined that I'm going to help myself. So the College of British, the osteopathic clinic, they assisted me greatly in the second year of my stroke. And then because it pushed me to do some walking, I had a hill to climb. That hill alone, I've said a lot of able-bodied people, because of what's I've come through and they've seen what's happened with me. They've been going to this place, and they've helped quite a lot of people. So in a sense, they didn't believe me at first. I was walking up the hill. The hill was rather steep.
Yeah.
But that helped. I went each week, had massages. And as I said, did herbal medication. So
yeah.
It's just being continuous. The training as a complementary therapist also, and my herbology helped.
Awesome.
And most of all, though, as I said, music.
Yeah, I was going to say
all
that.
flavors came along right at the best time.
So you said that the music was your... Sorry, saying that music is spiritual food for life. You made that point.
Oh, yeah, because I love music. I believe we should be, encouraged by amoral music. I do not listen to immoral music.
Right.
And so I noticed I found the station. I did the same thing before. I used to be the gospel experience person. Sister Shirley on one of the radio stations.
Yeah.
And I did that for a couple of years.
So we know you as Joy McKay in the chat room, and
That's
you're very active.
So my
I
name,
must say. Yes.
all I did, I have a long name, so I cut my name in pieces. Joy is from Janet, really. My name is Shirley Janet. But a few years ago, before my husband died, I had a premonition, I would call it, yes, that, Psalm 30, verse 5, which tells us that we can well endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And I said, oh, you know what? My name is Joy, not Janet. And David said, that's good. And he started calling me Joy.
Awesome.
And his name is David McKay, so Joy McKay is me.
And that's the part that he left with you, that lovely Joy McKay, or Joy, should we say.
Right.
Yeah.
Joy coming in the morning is really, this is truly the morning of my life, because I've been through the tunnel, I've been through the darkness.
Yeah.
And I've come out into the light, and I'm having joy in the morning.
So what encouragement would you give to other people that have suffered from stroke? What is the encouragement that you would actually give them?
Never give up. Continue to reach out. Because, I believe more than anything else, prayer works.
Yeah.
And I'm still a prayer warrior. Many people call me. And Miles Monroe ordained WOMB, which is my foundation, which is Women's Organization for Mental, Physical, Spiritual Building. So womb is where everything starts in the womb, and it's also starting from a cell. So this is how we came about to formulate that, and I realized that you cannot beat prayer. Prayer is not necessarily you being repetitive. It's just for you to talk. Just say what is in your heart.
Yeah. Because
the Lord already lives in you. We sing the song, "Come into my heart." Come into my heart, Lord Jesus. It's when you realize, He's in there. So let Him know how you feel.
And I must say that your speech has come a great way, because Siri didn't used to understand you, did he? You used to have quite a laugh with Siri, right?
I'm sorry, you have to say that again. I didn't get that.
I said that you've come a long way with your speech, because you said that you and Siri used to have a bit of a battle.
Yeah, nobody understood me. The only person who I could have games with was Siri.
Yeah.
And so when I wanted, I asked questions, and I continued to do my speech therapy by speaking to Siri. My speech is still not back yet. It's not quite, because sometimes it takes me a while to get the words out that I want to get out.
Yeah.
But everything that I need or I want, I figure that it's already there. It's just reaching out. And I talk to people and tell them, just reach out and touch.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, as I said, I've sent it many places. I know I must say hi to my friends in Jamaica, in Canada, and the U.S., because I know they're listening in. Also around London. I know they're listening in on TuneIn. Some have come on but cannot get in the chat room. But I know they're there. And I'm telling you, really, they wake up very early on a Sunday morning to listen to John J.E. They listen to DJ Larry, always say how really, and Mr. Fix-It. Well, all the DJs.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there's a station now that the people are really finding that the music they play take them back where they can, go back to relocate themselves. Come forward.
Definitely. And we have a great variety of DJs on the station, and we are looking for DJs as well. So if you feel that you can fit that role, please feel free to go to the website and sign up and have a chat with George. He's a great person to speak to. He's very accommodating, and if you have if you're up for it, then he's up for it. And just go along to the website and fill that in. So Joy, you said spirituality, faith, hope and love kept you alive. So in summing up, What do you mean by that statement? Spirituality, faith, hope, and love kept you alive.
I'm sorry. I said.
You said
spirituality.
Yep. Faith, hope, and love kept you alive. You said.
Yeah,
what
that
did you
is
mean by that?
actually life, isn't it? It's a matter of knowing that, hey, without faith, we're not going anywhere. Yeah? Hope. You must have, if you're hopeless, then that's why many people say, well, I can't, which means I won't. But, if you will, then faith without works is dead. So therefore, you have to really reach out. It's not easy. Nobody said that the road was going to be easy. Right? But with those three in the mix, especially the love, and it's a matter of cultivating love, because there's no way you can, if you do not love, then you cannot expect to get love.
Yeah, definitely.
The word says, love your neighbor as yourself. Who's your neighbor? Everybody, whether you meet them or just now cultivate. The season we're in is we're all locked in.
Yeah.
And I'm doing like Zoom meetings, different things, just because there's no distance. Technology has brought us so close to one another that I can be sitting in my room and I can hear somebody playing music from Germany, talking to people who are playing with us in the chat room from Castries, in St. Lucia. By the way, Agnes in St. Lucia, if you're listening.
Hi, Agnes.
Agnes is the family here. But I really have to tell people that right now, the times, they are changing. I heard everything you were saying this evening, even about, asking about somebody if you like them to marry you. Why not?
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? No time like the present, I guess, huh?
Hey, women are fighting so hard to get equality, or what? So, the men probably should sit back and let everybody else go.
Yes.
But at the same time, as you say, there is a way, and we're stuck with tradition.
Yes.
And that's what the Bible says, a form of tradition. And when we just get a form of reality and truth, faith, love, we'll get through.
Beautiful people, we must say that Joy, she may come on and have a show in the future. So listen out for Joy McKay. And she is very active in the chat room. She's my mum, Reverend Shirley Russel. And yes, we're going to play this song for you, Joy, because it was one of your songs that you wanted. And that one is by Delroy Wilson, Better Must Come. Oh, Delroy Wilson there for you. And that was Reverend Shirley, better known as Joy McKay, in the chat room by all Flavas DJs and presenters. That was lovely, wasn't it? And just knowing that we can survive stroke, we can survive any affliction or illness that may come upon us, and especially again now in these times, that all things are possible, right, Lily?
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that the whole, the start to the episode that Nana had, Grandma Drive for me, was that her mindset wasn't right at the time. So, like she said, usually she'd go to her remedies and she wouldn't take anything that just given to her. But because of the dark place that she was in at the time, she wasn't thinking straight. She just took what was given to her, and within a matter of days, it affected her so greatly. But the determination and the willpower was so much stronger than the affliction that had been put upon her, that she was one of the quickest people through the hospital.
Well, she said there's still people there when she's visited back.
I know of someone that had a stroke a month before, and they're still very much in a vegetative state, and it's sad to see, but it's also inspirational to know that
there is another side.
There is another side of it. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's just a matter we always talk about mindset. We always talk about being in that right frame of mind and not allowing things to get at us. But some days are easier than other days, because I know that, you know, some days you do have dark days, and it's getting through that time. But it can be overcome, and we can manage, and we can overcome the challenges that do come before us, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So Lily, I know that we've been looking into the Think and Grow Rich. Did you find anything as regards to what we've been speaking about tonight?
So I think this one is very I can't think of the apt is the word. Persistence.
Yes.
The sustained effort necessary to induce faith, the 8th step towards riches. And we know that we say riches, but we're talking about, you know, monetary, health, whatever way you want to, you know, apply it. And it says persistence is an essential factor in the procedure of transmuting desire in its monetary equivalent. The basis of persistence is the power of will. Willpower and desire, when properly combined, make an irresistible pair. And I think just from that phone conversation, from that Grandma Joyce calling, you can see persistence and desire, willpower will outshine any negative impact. The what you said earlier is that the effort over effect.
Yeah.
But in this case, the effort caused the most beautiful effect. And no, it's not back to perfection. It's not back to where you was. Nana's not back to the state she was in before she had the stroke, but she's not in that state where she cannot do anything for herself. And it shows that if we have the willpower to get to a certain point, whatever it is that we're trying to achieve, it can be done. It can be done. It can be achieved.
That same motivation track that we played right at the start of the show, it was talking about belief, and Mum said about the faith that kept her through, and it said that another question I was going to ask you, beautiful people, was that of self-belief, and how will you attain your goals and dreams? You know, because we always have to take action towards something we believe in, and she believed that she would get well. And Mum said that she is in her 70s and she's an overcomer. So she had the belief that she would overcome the adversity, had the belief that she would get better. Like she said, the foot was like a stone, you couldn't even move it. Yet so much advancement has been made up until this point. And we have to really be thankful and to know that mind over matter.
Definitely,
it's the truth.
Yeah.
No matter what way you want to look at it, mind over matter is really what gets us through a lot of situations. It's a lot of food for thought tonight, right?
Definitely a lot of food for thought. I mean, you spoke about the visa being available now to people from Hong Kong so that they can escape whatever semi-autonomous environment they're not in, so they're not allowed to make independent decisions, but they've been given the opportunity to come here. The racism that Marcus Rashford has experienced, no, it's not anything new in the football industry, but it's a bit more, it hits home a bit more now, I think, because of the change that he's been trying to make. He's really been, you know, trying to be that effect that can, you know, help the poverty and things like that, you know.
He is the change that he wants to make. He's put that forward and no one's seen the good that he's done. And sadly, it's a bit like if we do look at Jesus Christ, for instance, that he was young when he died and he was doing good. He was feeding thousands of people. This is in the allegory. He was feeding thousands of people. He was doing miracles, yet still they wanted to kill him. Likewise, Marcus Rashford, he's doing good things. I mean, they've always called our brothers monkeys on the field. That's why I don't understand why some of your brothers love off the football, but, you know, because of the reactions that they get from all of these people. But I do understand, because it's a man's game. However, it's so much lashback in the sense of the way that they treat our own. And we can't say, oh, well, go and get your own football team. Maybe we can pull one out from the air.
No, we need to stop this them and us. It's just...
But it is though, really, when you look at that.
We need to stop that. That's what we're trying to stop. We talk about we want to be equal, but then we want to have, no, it's them and us. You can't have it both ways.
Up until now, it's never been equal. Up until now, it's never been equal. We spoke about the prison system and how they went and found another little loophole, a little way just to keep us in servitude, like to service them and make their money. That young boy that was innocent, and they said, if you say that you done it, we will give you a lesser sentence. And he said no, and they beat that boy. The guards beat the boys, the prisoners beat the boy. He come out and he committed suicide. Right? But he was adamant. They dropped all the charges, but by then the damage was done. The damage was done, and this is happening to our young men, our black brothers, our beautiful black kings. It's happening on a daily. And how can we get over it? Because it's affecting people. It's affecting families, sons. It's the sons, the boys. And it's funny because in that lecture yesterday, they said the men or the boys were more expensive than the women.
Of course they were, because they would be doing the heavy lifting.
But now what are they?
But let us not forget.
Yes,
we are kings and queens. We had empires. We come from the line of the richest person of all time. Why are we focusing on, yes, we are living in such a negative, the energy is negative, but why is the energy negative? Why is it that they hate us so much and they want to beat us and break us? And why are we allowing them to do it? We built empires. Where is that mentality? Let's go back to that mentality. No, it's not them and us. No, we were never equal, because actually we taught you how to build castles and how to live clean. Let us go back to that mentality and stop thinking that history started from slavery and us getting taken off in ships to pick cotton.
I love it. It's amazing. Very true, Lily. Isn't Lily's right, everyone, isn't she? So right. So like Joy says, visualization.
Yeah.
Overcoming. All right. And knowing that the universe, there's an abundance for everybody. There really is. And it's just how we see it. It's how we play out things. It's how we see it at the end of the day. So beautiful people, shouting out to all the radio DJs, please check the schedule. And remember, we do have a Facebook page as well. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, you can always follow at allflavorsradio.com. And yes, check the schedules at allflavors.com and see who's on and playing. Tomorrow we have Charlie Muir with the General Disarray show, as well as Darnell the therapist. And hoping you're feeling a lot better. The original Mr. Fix-It. Great show last night, DJ Slim and Mark Philogene. Mark Philogene will be on from 10 till 12 tonight, as well as DJ Laro, who will follow me from 8 till 10. And Thursday, Ninja Man Lloyd, Caddy, John J.E., a very big lineup. DJ Slim, I think, is on Thursday as well. Friday is Mr. Fix-It, as well as DJ Laro. Saturday is George Flavors and DJ Nige. And Sunday you can catch the whole variety. It's like a bowl of fruit on Sunday, because you can get a whole variety on Sunday, from Zouk, soul, everything on a Sunday. So do check the schedule out. And yes, I guess we have to say is, we'll see y'all on the other side. Take care.
Auch in Deutschland hören wir All Flavors Radio. Die beste Musik rund die Uhr.
All Flavors Radio plays what you want to hear when you want to hear it 24/7.
The best music from around the world.
Now, here comes the music.